Welcome back to another Foxy Games UK news video. Now in today's video, well, let's say there's been a lot of discourse online because of the whole PlayStation, Microsoft, Xbox console war. Well, not so much a war, but fanboys toing and throwing back and forth on social media. But yeah, a lot of discourse at the moment about Xbox head of Microsoft Gaming, Phil Spencer. And he recently came out with some comments that caused a bit of a controversy. And yeah, a lot of the Xbox supporters cannot understand why people are still using it as ammunition, even though the last decade or more it's been an ongoing thing. Just because one side throws in the towel or waves the white flag by becoming multi-platform, you can hardly expect everyone to just pipe down because it annoys you. Anyway, we're going to get more into that. But if you like this sort of thing, like, subscribe, hit notification, and all that good stuff. So yeah, give you some context on this. Our first news story, courtesy of videogameschronicle.com. All links available in the video description. So yeah, in terms of Game Pass, Xbox, the future of the platform, Phil Spencer has said Xbox isn't trying to funnel players away from game ownership, and that Phil Spencer has also said players should play games wherever they want to, and he will not be an obstacle to that regard. So Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer has said that Microsoft isn't trying to force players into Game Pass Cloud or any one way to experience games. For the past few years, Microsoft has placed a significant focus on Game Pass, its subscription service, which allows obviously players to access hundreds and hundreds of games, including new releases, for a monthly fee. While the service has been heralded for its value, some have taken issue with Microsoft's focus on Game Pass primarily, and players don't own any of the games they receive, raising preservation concerns. Now, in a new interview with Xbox Era, Microsoft's gaming CEO acknowledged players who wish to maintain large libraries of owned games and claimed that Microsoft isn't attempting to funnel players away from ownership and towards subscriptions. Here's a quote. I think we've shown respect for people's libraries over the generations with back and pad and play anywhere, and I want to continue that. He went on to say, you can buy every game that's in Game Pass. We're not trying to funnel everybody into one business model. Play the games the way you want to play them. Now obviously we have to run a good business, so we'll have our pricing and everything that we do, but I want to make as many options as possible for games that we have. One of Game Pass' biggest selling points comes in the wake of Microsoft publishing its biggest titles on PlayStation 5. But I do take a bit of umbrage with what Phil Spencer said there. He said he's not trying to funnel people down a specific path. But oh yes, you are, Phil Spencer, because a lot of your games are not even receiving a disc version. You're selling physical box copies with codes, $100 premium editions with just codes, and yeah, you're literally saying you can buy everything that's in Game Pass. Yes, you can, but you can only own most of them digitally, especially the new titles. So if they were truly about ownership and preservation, Microsoft would be releasing games on disc. So the upcoming Doom, The Dark Ages, will be released on both Xbox and PS5. On PS5 it will cost $70, however on Xbox and PC, players have the privilege of the game being on Game Pass for that £15 or $1 per month, whatever the cost is now. It keeps going up every year, so I can't keep up with this thing. But Phil Spencer also added that it's why we're embracing Windows and embracing cloud, and that's allowed us to grow. No mention of Steam there. One of our fastest growing regions for us right now is Asia, and it's not because we're selling more consoles in Asia, but through cloud and PC we're finding more users year over year than in any other place. The fastest kind of platform is cloud. That's the thing that's growing the fastest year over year, and those are players like you were talking about, like the radio hosts. We're never going to catch that person with our console, so let's find them in a way that works, and it's better for Indiana Jones and it's better for Xbox. Elsewhere in the same interview, Spencer shed more light on his decision to bring virtually every first-party Xbox game to PlayStation 5, effectively ending exclusivity on the platform. So we're going to shuffle on now to Forbes.com. Paul Tassi, who, like many of the Xbox associated personalities on social media or in the media or journalism, they, were quite happy when Microsoft was competing, but now they're unhappy. Microsoft has stopped effectively competing directly with Sony, in terms of hardware sales and exclusivity. And now they've, thrown in the towel. All the games probably going to come to all the platforms sooner or later. And they just want everyone to stop talking about it. Stop rubbing it in. Stop adding salt to our wounds. The headline: can we stop asking Phil Spencer the same Xbox questions? Paul Tassi writes. Not that I've been innocent of this myself, but at this point, I think we've exhausted Phil Spencer across a dozen interviews, asking him the same questions over and over again, when at this point it seems kind of obvious that his and Xbox future plans are pretty clear, whether you like them or not. The latest round of news comes from a new interview on the Xbox Era podcast where Phil explained that yes, they will be showing PlayStation and Nintendo logos during their showcases, as first-party games are displayed and releasing on those platforms, not attempting to hide the fact that they're going multi-platform. I'm not really sure how this is news items, but here we are. Despite the fact that there are a wide range of opinions on Xbox's strategy here, it is more than clear what it is now, for better or for worse. Xbox will potentially release any first-party game on Nintendo and Sony hardware. That means putting logos in trailers sometimes, and the release options are day one, timed delay, unannounced, or perhaps never. Now, 2, the Xbox goal is to appeal to gamers who want to subscribe to Xbox Game Pass to get those games quote-unquote free, or as part of, as I prefer to say, part of your entitlement on day one, rather, using that service and play across a range of devices. Xbox does not care if people use this service to play via the cloud or on phones, tablets, or whatever. Pause. And perhaps that's the problem. Xbox just don't care. Number 4. Actually, where's number 3? It goes from 1, 2, and then straight to 4. Here you go. As such, Xbox cares far less about selling hardware than they used to, even if they still have plans to make it. If rumors are true, they could be releasing a portable Xbox that could change the dynamic a bit. So essentially, Xbox is acting as a third-party developer that also makes hardware that has a somewhat confusing multi-platform release schedule, plus its own subscription service. So yes, you can opine that it isn't a good strategy, but we at least know what it is. I don't particularly see the point of asking Phil Spencer about trailer brand logos or quizzing him or other executives if X, Y, or Z game is coming to PlayStation and when. Well, I'm going to stop it there. People who don't own an Xbox, who own a PlayStation, are now looking forward to those Xbox games. Why shouldn't they ask? Why shouldn't they say, is this game coming? Is that game coming? It's just basic curiosity. I think what's really getting up these people's nerves is that they can no longer defend the indefensible. They've finally had to come to terms with Xbox games going multi-platform, particularly those games going on PlayStation. This is Microsoft's new strategy, and they loathe it. They cannot abide this is happening, but as others have alluded to, they'll just ride along with pretty much anything Microsoft does. They've just stopped criticizing now. They've just decided to accept the fate of the brand. Now, you can put a spin on this and say this is going to be great for Microsoft because they're going to be the world's biggest publisher, and yes, correct. But in terms of the console market share, in terms of the exclusivity of big budget first-party titles, they've no longer got that claim. That mantra has gone. And they cannot stand it because Xbox gamers have historically loved exclusives. They've only changed their tune because Microsoft has. There was some resistance when Microsoft said a few years back or several years back, we're going to start putting our games on PC. There was a lot of resistance. People, threatened to leave the brand. A lot of people did. They rejected the brand, And then Microsoft said, we're going to put 4 games on PlayStation. They protested at that. I think they're just giving up now. They're giving in. Microsoft worn them down. Microsoft will have them going from A to B, left and right, up and down. They don't know where they are, a lot of these Xbox gamers. The future was so uncertain with Microsoft. They kept changing their strategy every quarter. You just couldn't keep up. And I think it's worn a lot of the Xbox gamers down. So they've just accepted, finally come to terms, which is the title of this video, by the way. Xbox fans have finally come to terms with Xbox games on PlayStation and the multi-platform strategy. Not only did Microsoft wear them down, I believe social media wore them down. And the opposing console users had worn them down. And, you know, there's only so much you can take, right? You got to walk away with some dignity. You know, they're seeing far too much negativity about Xbox, like Xbox quit, Xbox bent the knee to PlayStation. All the games, you know, are going to PlayStation. Xbox is worthless now. The brand is dead. I mean, I'm not criticizing anybody here. I'm just pointing out things they say and having my opinion on it. But Paris Lilly, who's a known associate of Xbox in one way or the other, he's done a lot of projects with them. People would say he is sort of an ambassador for Xbox in one way or the other. I don't know much about that. But Paris Lilly posted on X, people can be upset at the answers Phil Spencer and Xbox leadership has given, but we're at the point of running around in circles. We know they are going multi-platform, and we know they are still making hardware. Of course, this will be presented as, you know, being a good thing, but we're in an uncharted territory, and ultimately no one has an idea if this will work, so everything is to be determined. The only thing we do know is a lot of games from Xbox Game Studios are on the way, regardless of where you play them. And that, in my humble opinion, should be the focus. And then there was an awful lot of replies to Paris. One from at Sunny_Slim, who has put Stephen Avowed, and there's an Xbox controller. So they clearly do like Xbox. So they've replied to Paris Lilly. What happened to your pitchfork? Crazy how you guys toe the script for Xbox as it comes down the pipeline. At no point will you ever actually take a stand. You just flop and flop to whatever message the company gives. What can I say? Make your own opinion. As I say, I don't know enough about Paris Lilly to make a determination about what type of character he is. But, you know, it appears that people are saying, and I've read other comments as well, and some of it is agreeing with Paris Lilly, sycophants, some of them, and some of them are agreeing with the other person criticizing Paris Lilly. But there are a few people that say, you know, Paris is receiving free stuff from Xbox. He clearly works with Xbox. He does promotions with Xbox. He's been in a lot of their, you know, podcasts. He's been in a lot of their promo videos, you know, Flight Simulator being one of them. So yeah, he's got a relationship with Xbox. So, and he doesn't want to upset that relationship. You know, he's got sort of one foot in the industry, still, you know, building his career, still making a name for himself. So why wouldn't he side with Xbox and, you know, flip-flop and just read from the same hymn sheet? Yeah, why wouldn't he? Common sense, right? So I can understand from his point of view if that's the case. Yeah, you're looking out for your own interests. You have mouths to feed, family to support, bills to pay. But you can't then have the best of both worlds. You can't self-serve and then put out information to the public and then not expect criticism or be perturbed by the criticism or whatever. I get it. Everyone gets it. Even people who just started out on YouTube get it. We're all prone to criticism. Nobody's infallible. But yeah, and I just, you know, look forward to Xbox games coming to PlayStation. Look forward to a new future of Xbox where they are multi-platform, just like EA, just like Ubisoft, and Take-Two rather. That's how we have to see Xbox now. So in one sense, I do agree it's time to get over it. But I can still understand why the fanboys or detractors of Xbox, who put up with a lot from Xbox, you know, stands as well. You know, it's been back and forward on both sides. There are good and bad people on both sides. Yeah, terrible Donald Trump accent. But yeah, you can't just expect people to pipe down because it irritates you, is the point. Well, anyway, I hope you like this opinion piece, this video. If you like this sort of thing, like, subscribe, hit notification and all that good stuff. And until next time, play games, not corporations.